Your Dodge has features that sound helpful but are quietly destroying your engine and transmission. I'm talking about factory settings that Dodge markets as benefits, but every mechanic knows they're shortening your car's lifespan by tens of thousands of miles. Most owners use these features daily without realizing the damage piling up under the hood. I've rebuilt engines and transmissions that failed early, and when I ask owners about their driving habits, they all say the same thing. They were just using the features Dodge gave them. That's the problem. These features exist to meet fuel economy regulations and sell cars, not to make your Dodge last 300,000 miles. In this video, I'm exposing 7 Dodge features that mechanics see causing expensive failures every single day. Some of these you need to stop using immediately. Others just need adjustments to prevent damage. Stick around because feature number 3 is costing Dodge owners more money in repairs than any other single thing on this list. Let's get into it. Feature number 7, Auto Start Stop System. Every modern Dodge with Auto Start Stop is wearing out starters and batteries faster than older models ever did. The system shuts your engine off at every stoplight to save a fraction of a gallon of fuel. Sounds efficient until you understand what's actually happening. Your starter motor was designed for maybe 50,000 starts over the life of your vehicle. With Auto Start Stop, you can hit that number in less than 3 years of city driving. I've replaced starters on Chargers and Rams with only 60,000 miles because Auto Start Stop killed them. A starter that should last 200,000 miles dies at 60,000 because it's cycling hundreds of times per day. The battery takes a beating too. Every restart puts a massive draw on the electrical system. Your battery is constantly cycling between charge and discharge instead of maintaining a steady state. That's why I see Auto Start Stop-equipped Dodges needing new batteries at 4 years instead of 6 or 7. Here's what really bothers me. The fuel savings are minimal. We're talking maybe half a gallon per tank in heavy traffic. Compare that to a $400 starter replacement or a $300 battery and the math doesn't work. Want to disable it? The button on your dash only works for the current drive. Next time you start the car, Auto Start Stop reactivates. Some owners install defeat devices that permanently disable the system. I'm not saying you should do that, but I understand why people do. If you keep the system active, at least use a premium battery and budget for starter replacement around 80,000 miles. Feature number 6, Eco Mode. Dodge's Eco Mode sounds responsible. Better fuel economy, lower emissions, what's not to like? Here's what they don't tell you. Eco Mode changes how your engine operates in ways that cause problems over time. When Eco Mode is active, your transmission shifts early to keep RPMs low. That means more time at lower engine speeds where oil pressure is weakest. Your Hemi needs a certain RPM range to maintain proper oil pressure throughout the engine. Drop below that and critical components aren't getting the lubrication they need. I've torn down Hemi engines with premature camshaft and lifter wear. Owners swear they changed oil on time and used the right grade. Then I ask if they drive in Eco Mode constantly. Every single time the answer is yes. Low RPM driving in Eco Mode starves the top end of the engine, and over 100,000 miles that adds up to real damage. Eco Mode also keeps the engine in 4-cylinder mode longer if you have a Hemi with cylinder deactivation. That's fine for highway cruising, but in city traffic, the engine is constantly switching between 4 and 8 cylinders. That switching creates wear on the lifters and valve train that doesn't happen with all 8 cylinders running. Here's my advice. Use Eco Mode on the highway for long trips where RPMs stay consistent. Turn it off in the city where you're doing a lot of accelerating and decelerating. Your fuel economy difference will be minimal, but you'll save your engine from unnecessary wear. Feature number 5, Performance Pages and Track Modes. Dodge loves giving owners access to performance data and aggressive driving modes. Launch control, line lock, track mode, drag mode, all of it sounds amazing until something breaks. And trust me, things break. These modes bypass normal engine protection systems. They let you do things that put extreme stress on components. Launch control bounces off the rev limiter and dumps the clutch. That's great for a quarter-mile pass, but it's also shortening the life of your transmission, differential, and driveline. I've seen Challengers with blown transmissions at 30,000 miles because owners used launch control regularly. The transmission wasn't designed for repeated full throttle launches from a standstill. It's designed for spirited street driving with occasional hard acceleration. Track mode disables traction control and stability systems. It also lets the engine run hotter and the transmission stay in gear longer. On an actual track with cool-down laps, that's manageable. On the street, you're heat-soaking everything and creating wear patterns the factory never intended. Here's the thing, if you bought a Hellcat or Scat Pack, you want to use these features. I get it. Just understand you're trading longevity for performance. If you use these modes regularly, plan to do more frequent maintenance and budget for expensive repairs sooner than normal. Want to have fun without destroying your car? Use these features occasionally, not daily. Let the car cool down completely afterward. Change your transmission fluid twice as often. And accept that you're going to need a new clutch, transmission, or differential sooner than someone who drives normally. Feature number 4, tow haul mode for daily driving. I see this one all the time. Dodge owners discover tow haul mode and decide to use it for regular driving because it makes the transmission feel more responsive. Bad idea. Tow haul mode changes shift points and locks the torque converter earlier. That's perfect when you're towing 8,000 pounds and need engine braking and better control. It's terrible for normal driving because it keeps your transmission running hotter than necessary. The whole point of tow haul is to keep the engine in the power band under heavy load. When you're not towing anything, that just means your engine is revving higher and your transmission is working harder than it needs to. I've checked transmission temps on Rams running tow haul mode empty, and they're running 20 to 30 degrees hotter than normal mode. Heat kills transmissions. The hotter your fluid runs, the faster it breaks down. Fluid that should last 60,000 miles breaks down in 40,000 when you're running hot constantly. That means more frequent fluid changes if you're smart, or transmission failure if you're not. Some owners like how tow haul mode feels and refuse to turn it off. Fine, but change your transmission fluid every 30,000 miles instead of 60,000. Install an auxiliary transmission cooler, and don't be surprised when your transmission needs a rebuild sooner than expected. Use tow haul mode when you're actually towing or hauling heavy loads. Turn it off the rest of the time. Your transmission will thank you with an extra 100,000 miles of service. Feature number 3, Oil Life Monitoring System. This is the big one. Dodge's Oil Life Monitor is destroying more engines than any other feature on this list. The system tracks your driving and calculates when oil changes are due. Sounds smart, except the calculations are based on ideal conditions that most owners never experience. The monitor assumes you're doing long highway trips where the engine reaches full operating temperature and stays there. It assumes moderate temperatures and light throttle use. For owners who actually drive like that, the monitor works fine. But most Dodge owners don't drive like that. Short trips where the engine never fully warms up. Stop and go city traffic. Hot summer temperatures. Cold winter starts. Aggressive driving with lots of hard acceleration. All of that breaks down oil faster than the monitor accounts for. I've seen the Oil Life Monitor say 40% remaining on oil that's already breaking down and losing its protective properties. Here's what kills engines. Owners trust the monitor completely. They wait until it says 0% before changing oil. Sometimes they go even longer because the monitor hasn't triggered the warning light yet. By that time, the oil is toast. It's dark, it's thin, it's full of contaminants, and it's not protecting the engine anymore. I've rebuilt Hemi engines with sludge buildup and worn bearings at 120,000 miles. Owners swear they followed the maintenance monitor. That's the problem. The monitor let them go too long, and the engine paid the price. Ignore the Oil Life Monitor. Just change your oil every 5,000 miles using full synthetic 5, W20 or 5W30 depending on your engine. That's it. Don't wait for the monitor. Don't stretch it to 7,500 or 10,000 miles. Just do it every 5,000 miles like mechanics have been recommending for decades. A $60 oil change every 5,000 miles costs you $600 over 50,000 miles. An engine rebuild from sludge damage costs $6,000. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'm trying to save Dodge owners from expensive mistakes that dealerships profit from. Feature number 2, cylinder deactivation. Dodge calls it Fuel Saver Mode, or MDS, Multi-Displacement System. Whatever name they use, it's the same technology, and it's causing problems in Hemi engines across the board. The system shuts down 4 cylinders during light load cruising to save fuel. Sounds great on paper. In reality, it's creating wear patterns and failures that older Hemis never had. The lifters that activate and deactivate cylinders are a common failure point. When they stick or fail, you get misfires, rough idle, and a check engine light. I've replaced lifters and camshafts in Hemis with 80,000 miles because MDS wore them out prematurely. The constant switching between 4 and 8 cylinders creates stress on components that were fine when all 8 cylinders ran continuously. The other problem is carbon buildup. When cylinders shut off, they're not burning fuel. That means they're not getting cleaned by combustion. Over time, valves and pistons accumulate carbon deposits that affect performance and can cause damage. Some owners disable MDS completely with aftermarket tuning. That fixes the mechanical issues but kills your fuel economy and might void your warranty. Others just live with it and hope for the best. My advice? If you have MDS, use premium gas. The detergents in top-tier premium fuel help prevent carbon buildup. Change your oil every 5,000 miles religiously, and watch for early warning signs like rough idle or ticking noises. Catch lifter problems early before they damage the camshaft, and you'll save thousands on repairs. Feature number 1, aggressive throttle mapping. Modern Dodges have throttle mapping that makes them feel fast and responsive. Press the gas pedal and the engine jumps. It's exciting during test drives, and it sells cars. It also causes problems that most owners never connect back to throttle response. Aggressive throttle mapping means small pedal movements create big engine responses. That feels great, but it also means most drivers are constantly making tiny throttle adjustments. Every adjustment causes the transmission to shift, or the engine to change load. That's wear happening with every single movement of your right foot. I've compared how aggressive Dodge throttle mapping is versus other brands. Dodge programs way more sensitivity into the pedal, especially in sport mode. The result is more transmission shifts per mile, more torque converter lockup cycles, and more stress on driveline components. This also affects fuel economy more than people realize. Smooth throttle application is the key to good fuel mileage. When your throttle is ultra-sensitive, it's almost impossible to be smooth. You're either on the gas or off it with very little middle ground. That constant on-off throttle creates the exact opposite of efficient driving. The worst part is you can't really change it without aftermarket tuning. Dodge programs this in at the factory, and there's no setting to make it smoother. You can switch out of sport mode into comfort or eco, which helps slightly, but the throttle is still more aggressive than it needs to be. Here's what I tell Dodge owners. Learn to drive with a lighter foot. Treat the throttle like it's more sensitive than other cars, because it is. Smooth inputs will extend the life of your transmission and driveline while also improving your fuel economy. It takes some practice, but it makes a real difference over time. These 7 features prove that modern technology isn't always better for longevity. Dodge engineers designed these systems to meet regulations, improve test numbers, and make cars feel exciting on dealer lots. They didn't design them to help your car reach 300,000 miles. The Oil Life Monitor lets you wait too long between changes. Cylinder deactivation wears out lifters and camshafts. Aggressive throttle mapping creates constant driveline stress. Auto start-stop kills starters and batteries. Eco mode starves the top end at low RPM. Performance modes bypass protections and create extreme wear. Tow haul mode runs your transmission hot when you're not even towing. Every single one of these features sounds good until you see the repair bills they create. Dealerships won't tell you this because they profit from early failures. They want you using these features exactly as designed, so you'll be back for repairs sooner. Smart Dodge owners understand what these features actually do. They use them carefully or disable them completely. They don't trust the Oil Life Monitor. They know cylinder deactivation is a compromise. They keep their footlight on the aggressive throttle. And they plan for extra maintenance when they use performance modes. Your Dodge can last 300,000 miles if you stop letting features destroy it. The question is whether you're willing to think critically about what Dodge tells you is good for your car versus what mechanics know actually works.